straight cut there. It's the edge of the cloth. So I'll just get a straight edge here on top. And then grab my small tray. And then I'm just gonna mark kind of the inside of that small tray. So that'll be the height that I need, or the length this way. And then the width, I really just need like an inch on either side of this, and it doesn't have to be exact at all. Okay, so that right there. And again, if your blade is not sharp, it's a good time to put a fresh blade on, because we're gonna have those raw edges there. Small tree. Okay, I had 2 marks there. I had to make sure I was using the right one. Okay. This out just like a paste down. So these side edges, I don't have to really worry about glue squishing out, it'll be covered up, but definitely the top and bottom edges will be visible. So I don't want too much extra glue on that, or any extra glue on that edge. There. Okay. So I'm just going to center this. I'm eyeballing it. I'm centering it this way. And just sort of, I mean, if these aren't exactly even on either side here, that's fine. Take my pen folder. Okay. Now I'm ready to glue my trays on. So I'm going to glue the small tray on first. And same thing, I'm just gonna center that sort of visually. There's no way to make marks that you can later erase. There's really not any way to do that. So there's a couple of things though to think about. So when you put your box together, these right here should be level, right? They should be equal. Sometimes they're not, and I have one side that isn't. What I want to happen is when the box is shut, I want there to be a tight gap, right? I don't want there to be a gap. I want it to be tight along these edges. And so it's a good idea to kind of test that out beforehand. It looks like I'm gonna be okay. Sometimes if you have a big discrepancy here, like say your smaller tray was smaller than this tray, okay? If I were to line this up and then this, and glue that on first, and then this tray went past that, it wouldn't shut very well, right? So I might need to back this off just a little bit so that when this tray comes on, it closes that gap. Does that make sense? So kind of, you know, just sort of see how it's gonna fit, see where you need to glue that small tray on. So I like to put quite a bit of glue right here because we have a little bit of a difference between the height, right, of the paper and the cloth and the actual board, and I want to make sure that that sticks to this. So I am pretty generous with the glue right here. And then as I work out to the edges, I'm a little bit more conservative, but not, I still want a lot of glue, and I'm going to show you a little trick to make sure that the glue doesn't squish out, because I really don't want to skimp on the glue along these edges like I normally would if it were a paste down or something. I want really good adhesion. Okay, so now what I'm going to do to make sure that it doesn't squish out is just run my thumb right along the edge like that, and see how it just pushes back the bead of glue. We did this with another book. What did we do that with? Can't remember. Anyway, that just pushes the glue back a little bit so that when that squishes out, it's not going to go past. Hopefully it won't go past. Okay, so now the center head to tail. Okay, I want that tray to be flat against there when this is straight up and down. And again, if there was a discrepancy, maybe I wouldn't want it to be flat. Maybe I'd want it to be backed off just a little bit. Push this down really well, especially in the center there, because we've got this cloth and this cloth coming together that creates that a height difference, and you can actually feel that. It doesn't seem like it would be very much, but you can kind of feel that there. Okay, now I'll put the other tray on top. This one. Do the same thing. So I've got just enough glue that I'm getting really good coverage on the sides, but I don't have it so much that I'm worried about it running down the edge, right? Just a good layer of glue. Same thing, just quickly run around the edge there. Just gonna shut that. And then open it back up and press it. So a really good idea. I was thinking if I have them for this side. To cut some press boards, he suggests this. These are for a different book I made. I could turn those down a little. Put some boards in here, and then you could put something heavy like, well, not super heavy, but like a can of soup or something on each thing. And what that does is it raises the level above the trays. Then you can put something really heavy on the top of that. And what these boards do is it just helps distribute the weight. Whereas if I just put the can of soup right on this, it would push right here, but that weight wouldn't be distributed as well as if I had something down first. So put these press boards down and then press it flat. It doesn't work too well to press it this way because there's no pressure on this here. There's pressure here and there's pressure a little bit underneath, but nothing pushing these trays down at their weak spots, which is kind of in the center. So it's best if you cut some boards to be able to do that. And then just let it dry under some weight until it's, I mean, it'll hold together right now. But what often happens is that place where it's a little lower, these spots that don't have the book cloth, they'll tend to kind of pull up, and then the glue dries and then they squeak. They kind of are like plasticky and squeak. Okay.